Well, good afternoon and happy Wednesday, everybody. Hope you're doing well. It's time again for the one and only, the often imitated, I'm sure duplicated, but never never quite exactly the same. That's right. Every show's different. It is the virtual happy hour. Here we go in three, two, one. Let's roll the open. Here we go on a Wednesday. There we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show, the Wednesday edition of the virtual happy hour. Let's pull the clothes down, take it off, and while we're sitting here, let's take this off. That makes it even easier for me to kind of run the show here. Hope you're doing well. It's a virtual happy hour. It is the Wednesday edition, March 200. I don't know what day. It's the 12th. It's the 12th. Yeah, we're almost this weekend. We'll be halfway through August. How about that? And we moved Caroline to the dorm on Saturday, and we're midway through August. And it's, I guess, the big news. Well, besides the whole VP pick, which indifference here. You've got, of course, as we get closer to the end of the month, which usually means we're basically right now we've been watching NFL training camps and football. We got training camps going on. We'd have preseason football, and then about what about next week? Not this weekend, but next we'd have some college football. Then the next weekend, some more. Then we'd have the big Labor Day weekend extravaganza with the colleges, and the NFL would start which still supposed to start the next week. Colleges, we mentioned the Big Ten pulling the plug. Well, they hadn't yet on Monday, but they're about to. They have, and the Big 12 is going to play on. And at least at the moment, Big 12, ACC, and SEC are going to play football. So that's all good. The good news is for folks like, folks that are Purdue fans and Indiana fans and fans of teams in the Big Ten, which we've been a wife as well. They can flip a coin this year for the championship. Mom, are you going to flip a coin with Gay Marie to find out who the Big Ten champion is?
Well, only one I'm really loyal to is Purdue, and they haven't been worth much. So only because I had your sister graduated from there. So
yeah, how about that?
She doesn't care. I mean,
no, she doesn't even know when. She doesn't know football's the fall, spring, or winter. She doesn't know. I mean, she got things to worry about.
She got worn out on that with three big brothers. So there you go.
Yeah. So well, part of the life. How things going today, Mom?
Oh, I absolutely have done. Pardon the Southern Baptist French. Shit, I've done shit today. That's absolute nothing.
Well, that's good. That's good.
I did have a nice, engaging evening last night. I was interviewing a young man for our Council on Aging board. He's 35 and been recommended by a buddy friend of mine that runs a big corporation here. And because he couldn't do it, he went to school with this young man, and he's just a sweetheart. So I did my thing, and we talked, and I told about all you guys, and he told me about his family, and so we're in the process of doing another interview with the office personnel. So that was what I did last night. 3 hours of talking. Can you imagine me talking 3 hours? Yeah, right. And
yeah, I can imagine that.
He was probably ready to go nighty night by the time it was all said and done. Anyway, that's all I've been doing. And tomorrow, Miss Connie and I are going to dinner at Bacon Hill Pub. They say they do soul food, and we're going to eat outside. They have a big outside patio. So, and last night I was at Artisan, of course. And
of course.
Yeah. So
of course. So you got a new place that Connie's saying howdy too. So you guys are going out hitting the town tomorrow. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, it's not a new place. I don't think you've been there, but Annie and Chris have, and because they liked it, and and then of course it's owned by one of the Lucchese's, who are a big family around here. So anyway, so that's I've got more Zoom meetings. I mean, it wouldn't be me if I didn't have more Zoom. Friday I have a Zoom for our big radio event that's coming up. So that's about all I can talk about. I'm
That's
looking
pretty good, right?
I'm looking for oh yeah, it's not happening till October, but we have to smooge people to get sponsors to pay for the upfront and then to make some extra money. So there you go. Yeah, it's gonna be
Schmoozing.
huh?
Schmoozing. I like that word.
Schmoozing. It's probably a made up word, but that's okay.
Eh, eh.
As opposed to snoozing, which I do quite well.
That's not a made up word.
No, that's not a made up word.
No,
So
no.
so is Maxwell in school? I haven't checked with them.
My nephew Maxwell, who will be a senior, I've not heard. And a matter of fact, GM, my wife, asked me the very same thing a couple of nights ago. I need to check in. It's really weird. I walked in on her today doing her. They're doing they're doing their in service or like their orientation and for the semester, but it's all online and it's just for the little snippets I heard. And it was once making coffee, once getting bottled water. Sounds like a real cluster F, and I can only imagine. I'm sure most of the schools are like that, but I haven't heard. I know that they were going to, at least as of 10 days ago, they were planning on playing ball, and they were going to do a hybrid stop, start, a little bit of that. But as the wife chimes in, she's already got Zoom fatigue already, and she's only been doing it since Tuesday. So,
Well,
yeah.
I've been doing Zoom since since March, and we're going to try next month to have our board meeting in a big conference room at a financial company, because we don't have a big board, but if they're all there, there would be with the staff there'd be 14 of us, and
Yeah. I do so many Zooms now that I got a little cheat sheet over here at my desk. It's got all the little codes for, because I've got one, I have a T-Bones one. I've got one for my Wednesday group, my Wednesday Bible study, my Thursday group. I've got one for our Sunday school group. I've got one for my conference calls from Australia. I got one for my bullpen sports with Paul and Mike and our business in Australia. I got this whole little cheat sheet. I'm assuming, and I just assume there's probably a way to save those in my Zoom profile. I don't know, because I'm constantly looking at the little cheat sheet, going, okay, wait, today is this, and so I got to pull that. This morning at like 6:45, I'm trying to pull out the cheat sheet. Forget which one I got to plug into the dark here. It's kind of
Well, I do know we did a board retreat 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago on Zoom, and you can the person that's a host can record it.
Yeah, I knew that.
So and we're going to have the other board members. We're going to have our intern edit it, and other board members will have a chance to because I had a Notre Dame professor that was one of your sister's friends' dads, Dr. Hardy, and in fact, she's one that trained at Second City in Chicago. She's an actress, playwright, whatever. But anyway, it's crazy, and that we can do all that, and it works out. I mean, conference calls can wear you out. At least every now and then you can see somebody's face.
Yeah, and what's kind of cool is this morning, for example, in my men's group, we were able to, Wes Bowen, who's the head of it, was able to play a little 13-minute video during the call, which is kind of cool, be able to do those kind of things. And I'll tell you what it has done too, it's because we couldn't do this obviously 10, 15 years ago, but I mean, you could, like you said, you record. It makes it so easy to do interviews. Like, for example, the interview I did with Nathan Miller for the T-Bone show this morning was taped. Actually, even though I'm wearing the same shirt in the interview, I just was smart enough to remember, hey, I'll wear this shirt next week too, because I actually taped it late last week. But it was done in the same kind of format, not actually on Zoom, but actually BeLive. BeLive has a feature where I can actually record the interview.
Don't record me.
No, I'm not. No, it doesn't record. Well, it doesn't record this, but I could actually, let's just say, actually, this is going to happen tomorrow night here in the States when Cam Vale comes on my show. I'm going to record that about 2 hours before we go on the air and insert it into our show on the live edition of our show. I kind of, I kind of wanted fans to ask questions. We haven't really grown enough as a show over there to really have a lot of people just go fire them off. So I'm going to control the interview, and then then Paul and I will comment on it afterwards. But anyway, I'm able to record it offline. It doesn't go over the air. I'm able to record it, but you can do so many. Microsoft Teams does that, all that. So it's really kind of cool. But you couldn't. I mean, it used to be you want to do a video interview, you had to have high tech video or high tech satellites and all. But now you can just use a Zoom and I mean, there's ways to do it. Now, granted, it's not sometimes the best, but Zoom or even a Skype or whatever. We're going to see Jeff as well and David out there.
And here's another thing that we do for our board meetings. And she can show our chief financial officer can show the spreadsheets. You can mount. You can post them on there, and everybody can see them. And our agenda and those things can be run on the side, where everybody can and see them online. So it's really, then there are other things like that, but it's very functional. So anyway, but enough of that crap. So anyway, I
was going to. Did you see where we went for dinner last night?
Fletcher's.
Yeah, how about that?
How about
I'm going to show that in a few minutes.
I think about the Campbells. Do they still have the concessions at the Fair Park?
GM will probably know they did. It's been in recent memory. At one time they had one of the arenas here. I don't think they do, but I believe. And what was the name of that family's name?
Campbell's.
Yeah, I know. What was the name of the son? And the son was a junior, I believe.
He was in
was it Eddie?
Class, wasn't he?
Ed Campbell, maybe? Is that right?
Yeah. I think so. Eddie Campbell, yeah.
But they have had, I think they had, the state fair has got several different, they've got the vendors that come in privately, Fletcher's, different restaurants and whatever. And then you've got, of course, each one chooses what beverage they use, but then there's several of them. I believe some of the beer stands there, and I think the Cotton Bowl still is Eddie Campbell. I know in recent, at least the last 4 or 5 years, I know I've seen Eddie Campbell concessions out there. I don't know if they're as big as they were before. At one time they ran, like I said, old Reunion Arena.
Well,
they had
actually they were in. He was in the younger was in Chris's class because when I ran the concessions.
No, he was in Sam's class.
Huh?
Sam's class.
Well, but they kept. Didn't they have a daughter maybe in Chris's
I don't know, Mom. I don't know. Everybody's probably going, "What in the hell are they talking about?" I don't know, but yes.
Anyway, he furnished. All I had to do was call and have an order sheet, and they had it shipped out to the concession stand at a really cheap price, and I didn't have to go shop when I ran the concession stands. So, I mean, I had not thought about them in years. That's the only reason I brought that up. But anyway,
they at one time, I know in recent memory they were out there. Of course, this year the state fair is no more. What I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes is the Fletcher's experience, and I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
Cool.
It's Fletcher's corny dogs are a legendary delicacy.
Yeah.
And if you have to go to the state fair for that reason alone, everybody would go. I mean, it's a huge deal. And they sort of gotten the family kind of back on the track again. For a while there was a splinter, and they were having a hard time getting the outside the fair thing going. Now they got it going. They had a food truck yesterday at right across the North Park Mall, or at Our Redeemer and off of Bodecker and Park, and it was really phenomenally done and really cool. So anyway, cool. I'll show those in a few minutes, but I want to give you this. You guys ready for a cool announcement? I'm gonna give you a drum roll. I should have a virtual drum roll instead of my fingers. I don't know if you can see this, Mom. I'll actually pull this down, and I'm gonna pull this on the screen for you. And I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that on the screen, Mom?
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I hit it like 2 days early. That was today. My wife doesn't even know this. She's doesn't even know that either.
Well, I guess there's some money in the
how about that?
For you.
I was not going away today, but I thought, you know what? Because actually, when my body was killing me this morning at work. I mean, I went in an hour and 3 minutes on Monday, 56 yesterday, and today I didn't intend to go more than 45 to 48, but somehow I kept going, but I was taking a pounding. My body was taking a freaking pounding. But I got an hour into it today. I actually got home and it was 57 minutes. And so I walked 3 more minutes around the construction zone we have going on the house. And then I thought, you know what? Well, I hadn't eaten breakfast yet. And I had the show to do at noon. So I thought, let me just jump on the scale real quick. And yeah, it's where we hit. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff there. How about that?
Yeah, well, yay. Well, when I get off, I will get on the bankroll.
Yeah,
We'll
I
do a
didn't tell my
drum
wife.
roll on the bank.
I didn't tell my wife because I wanted to make it a surprise for the show today. So, but yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
Well,
it was.
keep it up. Keep it
Yeah,
up.
we're gonna try. It's kind of cool. I'd like to. And of course, we're talking. The funny thing was, I ate corn dogs last night and still lost weight. So go figure.
Well, but those might show up tomorrow, but we won't talk about tomorrow.
No, well, no, but I mean, but when you're take a pounding on the pavement, the good news is I have 28 of these fit points I got to do a week, and I've already got 22, and we're only 3 days in. So I've got Thursday, Friday. I got 4 days. Well, I used to take a break on the weekend, but now with GM's schedule, I moved my break day to Saturdays with a pool workout, and then Sunday a light workout. I might tomorrow because I do got to lead a men's group tomorrow morning at 7. I want to kind of sort of usually I just show up the men's group all sweaty from working out at 6 a.m. But I think I'm going to try to fight through it. But yeah, so I thought you'd like that, Mom. So there you go.
Cool. Okay, well, I'm going to get off. And
all right, love you. Thanks, Mom.
I love you too. I'll be on the other side. Bye.
There we go. Mom Cam right there. She joined us from Indiana. Elkhorn, Indiana right there. Virtual happy hour. Glad you guys are along here on a Wednesday. Love to hear what y'all are doing. Thank you very much, Connie. Yes, I didn't tell my wife, but it was very, very excited about that. Yes, 60, yes, salad for tomorrow. Salad for Mom tomorrow. We began this journey, my wife and I did, the worst possible time, and this has been asked before. No, this was not done during the pandemic, although it does help. But we began this thing. She actually began in September, or into September. I began about a month later, 6 weeks later, maybe more than that, 7, right around Thanksgiving. And that's the worst time in the States to begin that. But did somehow fight it off. And, well, I don't know about that. I don't know if I look good. I still got those old man chin working, that nonsense. But that's what happens when you get all that. But anyway, yeah, so exciting times. I was not going to, I don't know what. I think what got me on the scale this morning was that I had some water before I worked out, and it was, and I went the hour and I was sweat pretty good. But yet it wasn't 10 o'clock. It was, I left the house at 9:40-ish, 9:38, and got back at 10, whatever, an hour later. And I didn't really get a good sweat going until the last half hour, and really the last 15 minutes, maybe 10 minutes, when I was actually walking. My route goes, I go a block north, which the sun's in my face, but not very long. Then I go to the north. I'm sorry, right to the east. My bad. Then a block north, and the block north, the sun's sort of on my side of my head, but I'm still kind of getting going. Then the sun's behind me for the better part of another, say, 3/4 of a mile. Maybe a mile, because I actually go through a park and it does me a circle and I keep going due west, and the sun's behind me on my neck. And so and then I get to there's a hill I go up, and I still the sun this time on this side of the face. And then I kind of meander around, and eventually I get to the home stretch, and I'm facing back to the east again. There's one side of the street that part of the walk has got right in the sun, but I'll be in the sun for, say, 50 yards and in the shade for 20. And it's like that for the last part of it. Then I go to a stretch of shade. Then I go back, turning back to the north again. But as I come to the north, the whole time the sun's just pounding. By that time, the sun's a little higher. It's pounding down on me. So I was really pretty getting a little sweat there. I thought, you know what? Because I didn't want to jump on the scale, but I went ahead and did it anyway. And I usually used to weigh on Tuesdays. But because of the pandemic, I've been doing Thursdays, Fridays. The app tells me to do it on Monday. I'm all over the place. I just felt like jumping on there today, so all good. So exciting stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, I actually interested that Daryl's going to bring something up. Yeah, thank you very much. Burgers and fries for my mom. There you go. Yeah, we were talking in the open, and Brother Daryl, good to see you, mate. Love you, man. Hope you're doing well, and blessings to you and your family. I didn't get a chance to listen to my mate Ryan Hyatt today, who does the show in Lubbock today. I'll watch his show at 6:30 because today's my day when I do my show from noon to 1. It actually went noon to about 1:15 today. It was a longer show today. Had a lot of questions and comments, so people firing away. And during that first hour prep, I'm not really a chance to tune in, but I haven't really followed it today. But I did see some tweets where, and Daryl says, I'm thinking of canceling my tech tickets this year, waiting till next year, only letting 15,000 fans in. I think that was going to suck. I just looked at the schedule. Somebody had just tweeted out, or maybe on Facebook, it was one of the 90s tech group, that group. And it was the daughter who had moved the dorm, and she'd sent her folks home the schedule graphic that was on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. And I saw it as well. And as the schedule, the Texas Tech football schedule. And I started adding up wins and losses. And at first I went through, well, given normal circumstances, for example, Daryl, I would say the Baylor game. The Baylor game probably is a toss-up at home with your home crowd, probably a slight advantage for Tech, I would think, right? Normal circumstances, 55, 60,000, probably being played in the evening, probably going to be a pretty good, hyped up crowd, or sometime after 2 o'clock. I would think that game would be an evening game. Well, that game's going to be played in front of 15,000. I noticed the second game for Tech is the University of Texas. Normally that game played in Lubbock is almost always a night game. Most of the time, there were some times it's earlier, but it should be probably a night game. If it worse now with the new TVs, because the Big Ten and the Pac-12 not playing, it might be a 2 o'clock window, but I would think it'd be 2 o'clock onward. That game would be a big, huge game, and there's been some history in that rivalry as well. So that game, it's been an evening game down in Austin as well. So I could see that 60,000 lubricated fans on top of the Longhorns. It's a great home field advantage. Suddenly, your second ball game is in front of 15,000 fans, maybe, give or take, in front of a atmosphere where the sound's going to bounce around. It's going to sound like the second half or fourth quarter of a blowout win or over New Mexico or somebody like that. The atmosphere is going to suck. And I saw somebody else had said that too. And I saw some highlights on the news channel today about the Big Ten. It was actually on ABC News last night. And I should pull these up because I've got these on my hard drive, but it was from Penn State and Michigan 2 years ago in the whiteout game. My wife and I and our friends, the Blakes, went, and Christy is also an alumni of Penn State. We went up to the whiteout game 2 years ago. The atmosphere was electric, and seeing those shots of the fireworks, everybody in white, we were in there, and they were showing those same highlights on the ABC News last night. And they were saying no football, and I kept thinking, well, there's no football, but even if they were going to play in the Big Ten, they were going to play in front of 2,000 people or 10,000, 20,000 people. And you're not going to have the whiteout experience. And it's the same thing at Tech or anywhere. It's going to be just a real crappy atmosphere. I'm right there with you. I thought, and we gambled here, Daryl. I wanted to buy tickets. I went up and it's still interested in buying tickets. I still want to go because the oldest is out there teaching in grad school and teaching, and she's going to grad school. We've got family out there. We've got farm business out there. Lubbock's a place where it's very special to my wife and I. We love West Texas, and we wanted to go. And I was going to buy tickets and had talked to the rep, and I was just wanting to get a clarification on a couple of things. And one of which was this: how many folks will be allowed? Well, now, I'm glad I didn't buy because you're in that boat. And they're probably asking you, Daryl, to donate that money, which I'm thinking that's a hard ask for a lot of people this day and age to donate their hard-earned money during a pandemic to the athletic program who may or may not be able to play and not have enough fans in the stadium anyway. I mean, I can tell you from Kansas City standpoint and our season ticket holders, we gave them as much money back as we possibly could. If they asked for it back, we've given it back because I think that's the right thing to do. A lot, especially group nights who are planning on it, they can opt for next year but most folks want their money back. And I get it. I mean, that $1,000 for tickets could go a long way in paying a bill or two until this time next year. So I get it. It's a tough spot. We gambled and didn't do it. I want to go. I want to be there. But the back of my mind too, though, Daryl, the atmosphere is going to suck. And there's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. The atmosphere in college football. I mean, LSU, name the stadium. It's going to suck because you're going to have at most 25, 30,000 people there. And it's the old adage I've talked about before that, when I was in Gary, Indiana, we played in front of a 7,000 plus 8,000 seat ballpark. on a Tuesday night, we'd have 2,000 people there, and it'd look empty and it'd sound empty. But we had 2,000 people there. But you could kind of feel the image, the atmosphere was different on Tuesday. Friday, Saturday, we'd have 5,000, 6,000 people, and it was different, a different feeling. St. Paul's a great example where the St. Paul Saints play 8,000 strong on a Friday, Saturday. I've been watching their games this year because they can't have 8,000. They're going to have 1,500. And you watch the crowd spread out. And yes, the show's the same, but it's weird watching it. And I don't know how it is in person, but I always, as a broadcaster, get juiced up with a good crowd. The good crowd gets me going. And there are places we go. Sioux City is a great example. Sioux City's biggest crowd's 1,000 on a good day. And there's nights where there's nights in Sioux City, I hear the crowd noise. I hear the conversation from the couple below me in my crowd bike about where they're going to go after the ball game. In St. Paul, you don't hear that. In St. Paul, you hear the buzz of the ballpark, and it just gets you going. And it's not that way right now in the minor leagues, not that way in the big leagues. Watching big league games sucks. Watching the playoffs last night with the Stars sucked. Here they were trying, if they're playing at home last night down by a goal in the last 10 minutes, that barn would have been jumping, going crazy. Instead, they're playing in a bubble at Edmonton against Calgary with no fans there. And there was urgency on ice. There was that extra bolt and that extra jolt that makes sport so much enjoyable for the fan, the broadcaster, and the players. I mean, when you hear that dun dun go, and you got 20,000 people, or do you have 60,000 people? What's gonna get you going? What's gonna get the hair raised in the back of your neck? I know when I see the Masked Rider come out from a sold out crowd and they're all wearing red or black or whatever it is, I'm fired up. But at 15,000 people against the University of Texas, when you're going to see nothing but most basically empty red seats, that sucks. That atmosphere sucks. Girl says he donated the last few years watching us. Yes. very well. I donated too. We went to, we've averaged about 3 games a year on average. And yeah, I've donated. I don't think they won a game that I've been to. They beat Kansas 2 years ago that I went to in person there. Now basketball, different story in the road, and all that. But I don't think they lost to West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Kansas State. I believe the last game I watched them win was 2 years ago against Kansas. I think that's right. So yeah, I've donated too. I want to go. I want to buy tickets, but again, 15,000. You got 30,000 undergrads. Those kids have paid their fees as well. Those checks have all cleared. So the university's got that money. So if they want to let them in or not, it's their business. You've got big time donors that are obviously going to want to get their parking spots and have their cold beverages. There are going to be no tailgates. Apparently, there's not going to be anybody in the stadium club or the suites. I don't know who gets tickets, who doesn't. I talked about this today. I believe I brought this up. I think I brought this up on my baseball show today. What a dilemma it's going to create for the resale market. Do you allow resale of tickets? I mean, how do you police that? Because let's say we get to the tail end of the season, Oklahoma and Tech are, let's just say for some miracle of miracles, they're playing for the last couple of weeks of the season, which I guess the last 2 weeks. Second to the last game for Tech is OU. Let's say both teams are undefeated. Now, albeit probably highly unlikely for Tech, but let's just say they're a one-loss Tech team, and Oklahoma's playing for whatever seeding is going to come up when whatever postseason is going to happen to the SEC, the ACC, the Big 12, whatever is going to happen. They're playing for that whatever. How do you relegate the whole resale value? How does that work? I mean, if you got 15,000 tickets, who gets priced out, and how's that work? I mean, I don't know. Somebody could get really rich on this thing, and it won't be the university, because the resale market won't be the university getting that. It's going to be the reseller or the person that got lucky and got the tickets in the lottery or whatever they decide to do. So I'm with you, Daryl, and it's a long way to answer, but yes, I'm excited we're going to play football. At least I think we're going to play football. But again, watching the hockey, the basketball, I mean, the basketball is fun because the little fake people, the cardboard cutouts of Major League Baseball, I'm kind of over. It's kind of fun to see them, especially when you know some of them. But, seeing Patrick Mahomes and my buddy Baseball Brit in the Kauffman Stadium front row was kind of cool. But after a while, I'm kind of like, meh. I mean, and they're talking about bringing back some fans in Cincinnati and maybe in Houston and Dallas or in Arlington. Some fans of baseball, but that's where it came from. How are you going to decide who comes in the Rangers game when every person in the Metroplex is a sports fan wants to go to that new ballpark and check it out? No one's seen it yet in person except for the broadcasters and folks who watched through the glass from the bar next door. I mean, how do you relegate, and how's that resale market going to go? I mean, if they play 20 home games, it's going to cost you $500 a ticket, $200 a ticket. Texas Tech's playing, 7 home games, and you get a 6 home games, 7. It's going to cost you $200 on the after sale, on the resale market. So my thing is, guys, if they call me and say, hey, we'll guarantee you a ticket, I'm going to pull the trigger. But I need to know that I need to know, A, I'm not going to get gouged, and B, I'm going to be able to get my money back. That's the two things I'm concerned about. But it's a mess. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm excited we're playing ball, but at the same time, it's not going to be the same. And it's the same with the NFL. I was talking to a mate of mine on Monday out in Vegas. I mean, Clinton Crosby, they're going to have fans at the Raider games, but there's going to be some, obviously won't be all the fans of the Las Vegas Raider games. The Cowboys are not even selling season tickets this year. Can you imagine that aftermarket? Think about it this way. The fans have been locked away all spring, all summer, or most of the last part of winter, spring, summer, and suddenly you've got 100,000, say 90,000 possible places to put your fanny. And let's say you're going to put 50,000 of them in the seats, and everybody, that's all you're going to have at the NFL, the Cowboy games. What's that resale going to be like? I mean, what's a club seat? What's a $600 club seat going to go for? I mean, that's my question. Now, there has been a theory out there that maybe people are going to say, man, I don't want to even go for the social distancing protocols, and I want to back off and say, yeah, forget it. I'm not going to waste my time going out there. But that's funny because we went and waited for corn dogs yesterday in a line that had probably 50 people in it, and it was a steady line all afternoon like that. Corn dogs. I mean, people are wanting to get out. I mean, we go to our favorite restaurant on Saturday night. The patio is packed. It's a waiting list to get in the patio. People want to get out. I mean, it's part of it. So part of me thinks that some folks will say, yeah, and you'll be able to get great seats to any game you want to. The resale market is going to be a doozy. And who do you decide who gets to go, who doesn't? How do you tell a kid who's a senior at Tech who's paid his student fees every year and already paid up front? How do you tell that parent, oh, sorry, little Johnny, you can't go to the football games, but some schmuck who paid $1,000 for a couple of seats can? I mean, that's the problem. That's where I get. So anyway, good stuff there, brother. Good stuff. How you guys doing? Let me know what's going on out there. I mentioned the 60-pound mark. Now it's 60.2. The 0.2, so it means I'm closer to 61 than 60. So that's good, I guess. The exciting part is to know that, gosh, I'm like 4 pounds away from being down to 330s. That's even more bizarre. Anyway, what else is going on? Oh, yeah. We went to Fletcher's yesterday, and again, let me pull this up for you guys here. I knew this was coming. I knew they were doing this, and I follow them on social media. They follow me on Twitter as well. And let me just let's go in reverse here. Let's pull these up here. Fletcher's, and for you folks that are watching maybe worldwide, you're wondering what a Fletcher's is. What does that mean exactly? Fletcher's is the state fair corn dog is what it is. We call them corny dogs as kids. Some folks call them corn dogs. We call them corny dogs. And it's simply this. It's simply a hot dog on a stick, dipped in batter, deep fried, and served hot and with the mustard. Some folks do catch it, but I think I would say 95% of Texans, humans, do it with mustard. But they're a legend at the state fair. And as far as I understand, there's one family that did these corn dogs and been legendary. I mean, you could go to the Cotton Bowl to watch Texas OU. Everybody gets a corn dog and a beer as they go in. There's stands all over the state fair. There's a certain battered smell of these things. It just smells delicious. They also do funnel cakes and always get you a cold draft beer there at the stand. Fletcher's, for whatever reason, for a while back, say 20 years ago, there were some Fletcher's stands, stand-up shops throughout the Metroplex, throughout Dallas-Fort Worth, a couple little drive-throughs, and they had some issues. And what I understand, the family kind of splintered a bit, and you had some of the family went one way, some went the other way, and that disagreement caused their retail business to go awry. But they suddenly somehow reconciled, and the families kind of put some of that behind them, and they've made the most of the pandemic, knowing that we won't have a state fair this year. They've been making these appearances around the Metroplex, these little pop-ups, whatever to call it. Well, I got the message that they were going to be just a mere blocks from our house from 3 to 7 yesterday. And let me give you some shots from that. It was a surprise. Well, the wife, she was going to go either to Chick-fil-A or Chicken Express, and I offered to go with her, which was kind of a shock to her because usually when she makes those dinner runs, I'm like still wrapping up whatever I got to do, and I'm all fine with that. Well, she was like, really? I said, yeah. And as we were going down Bodecker, I knew we got closer that there'd be some cars there, and I could see that. And we got a little closer. I'm going to pull this up for you guys. And there you go. There's the Fletcher's T-shirts. There's the wife standing in line. You can see the little truck right there, the trailer right there. And you can't see it right there, but there's 3 people doing a register, the automated register right there. And so they were serving 3 families at a time, which was kind of cool. Of course, our mask. And there you go. There's Fletcher's. Love the little logo. Yeah, the wife said I never go with her. I never go with her. So she was excited that she didn't really know something was up, but I think that she did. Well, once we got down to Bodecker and Park Lane, she knew something was up. But we pulled in the parking lot, and I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be easy because we parked at a front row spot. We walked toward the stand, and okay, this is going to be easy, be a 5-minute deal or whatever at the most. She realized the line actually went down the block about, say, 25, 30, maybe 35, 40 yards, let's say. And I was like, oh, no. And it's still the warmth of the day. And I'll show you the shot of the line here. Oh, that's the end of the day. That's the corn dogs we got home. Those the stack of mustard there. And there we go, the bite out. Here we go. And there's the line. If you can see off in that middle of the screen and behind that tree is the actual stand. And we're kind of like, I don't know. And my rule for food is I'll only stand in line for really, really good barbecue. Really, really good barbecue. And it's got to be Texas really, really good barbecue. It just can't be, I'm not going to stand in line for something that stinks. It's got to be the best. And so Oklahoma Joe's in Kansas City, I'll stand in line for. Downtown at Pecan Lodge in Dallas, I'll stand in line for. Cadillac over in Farmers Branch, Carrollton, I'll stand in line for that place. Only open once, 3 days a month. Where else? Oh, down in South Texas, I'll stand in line down there as well. Schmitty's, I'll stand in line at Schmitty's, but I will not stand in line for anything else. Except I'll stand in line for Fletcher's corn dogs. The line actually moved pretty quick. My wife said 20 minutes. I think it was less than that. I think it was more like 10 to 12. There we are, facing the sun, though, as our selfie shot with our mask on and the Murphy's Bleachers from Chicago on. There we go. There you go. Social distance, wear your mask. The corn dog has his mask on as well. Social distance, wear your mask. And there we go. That's me working out. So there we go. Sorry about that. Went a little too far there, but that's the photos from yesterday's Fletcher's corn dog extravaganza. There we go. And the good times had by all. And again, amazing that I lost weight despite eating Fletcher's. And the good thing too, Fletcher's also has they also have the jalapeno cheese, which is a pretty good little kick to it. So we got some of those. Got a couple of those and a couple of the normals. And again, they came right out of they were coming right out of the vat there. She thought we were voting. We weren't. We actually vote in that church right there, but we weren't voting. Mom says, Maxwell is Texas. Thurston scheduled to start class in football for now. Yeah, I thought that was the case. So good deal. Good on my nephew Maxwell. Yeah, we are cute. I was thinking about this too when I felt bad with the seniors last year that were going through graduation. Here's my nephew, his senior year. He may or may not be, and he's not a division. I'm not going to say this. He's not going to go to play football at Alabama or Oklahoma or Texas Tech. He could play at a smaller school or maybe a smaller D1, Ivy League. I could see him walking on to an Ivy League school. I could see him going to a Division II and playing. He's a really good athlete. Now, I'm not saying he couldn't. I mean, he could put – this kid can do anything he sets his mind to, okay? But this may be his last swim at high school football. And he may not get a chance to finish his season. That's painful. And if you go forward in your senior year, whatever sports you do, you may not get a chance. So for some kids, it's their only shot. And they don't get a chance to play. And he may, if he goes to the University of Chicago, he's got a chance to play ball. He goes to a smaller Division II school, 1AA or FCS, or again, if he goes to, say, an Ivy League school, he has a chance, to walk on. Certain Division I, but he's not. Alabama's not knocking on his door to come play football. They probably want him as a student because he helped their overall GPA of that school. But hold on, the story, those Texas kids going there to help their GPA out. But the point being, the poor kid, his senior year is so dicey right now. Kids to be in school, no doubt about it. I saw today one of my fraternity brothers had his daughter was at the White House today. She teaches in Lubbock and was actually at a White House function this afternoon promoting teachers and promoting education. She'd actually taught in summer school out in Lubbock, and they'd had no issues out there. But the oldest is actually starting her student teaching at her grad school work in Lubbock. She said her brain's tired from going all the orientations as a teacher, and but her roommate is doing student teaching as well out there. So there's all kinds of that going on, and I feel for those kids. I feel for all of them. I mean, you got to feel for them. So. All right, so you guys have seen Fletcher's. You guys have seen the weight loss. What else we got? I went a long tangent about college sports. Anything else for you guys? Tomorrow night, exciting show for Talking Baseball Australia. Baseball's best mate all year long. Myself and my broadcast partner over in Australia, Paul Morgan, we will be bringing you exclusive with Cam Vale, the CEO of Baseball Australia. It's kin to what you would have if we had a commissioner of sport in the United States on our show. It's the same thing. Those folks are waiting for the announcement of their schedule. It's coming out at any time, and you're hoping to get some insight from him tomorrow on what's going to happen with baseball going forward in the winter in Australia and what that bodes for our product and what we work on over there. Will we have something to work on? Will there be baseball over there? So that it'll be exciting for us to have him on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Go to Talking Baseball Australia on Facebook, and you can pull that up. Actually, I'll pull that up for you guys right now. You guys can see that, and I will give that to you quickly here. Talking Baseball Australia, where is it? And let's see here. Talk amongst yourselves. Here we go. I didn't mean to put this up. I wasn't going to, but I thought, why not? I'll go ahead and put it up anyway. And let's just pull up TBA. Where is that file? Well, my voice is shot. I haven't been talking that much, but I guess it's just I'm out of broadcast sorts, I guess. It's kind of like not being, I guess I'm in physical shape, but not on broadcast shape. I'll have a lot to do. Here we go. Here's Baseball's Best Mates right here. Put this on the screen for you guys. Bring this down. Bring this up, and there we are. There we go. That's Baseball's Best Mate. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Talking Baseball Australia on Facebook. And again, go to Talking Baseball Australia. And that's tomorrow night, 7 p.m., 8 a.m. in Western Australia, 10 a.m. in Victoria and Sydney and Brisbane. And I would make it, noon in Auckland in New Zealand, something like that. I got my time zones all straightened away. That'll be tomorrow night. Of course, I'd love to have you guys follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Twitter's a great place. Love to have you guys follow me there. Instagram as well. And you can also view all these shows along with my broadcaster Can Cook shows. Those are all actually, I might as well promote that too while I got a chance. Why not, right? Why not promote that while I got a chance? I haven't done that in a while, promoting the broadcaster Can Cook. I keep telling you I put the finishing touches, and I have put the finishing touches on the show, but I haven't put the final thing I got to put on there, and I will do that probably Friday because I'm just swamped the next 2 days trying to get content out and odds and ends. But let's put this on the screen for you. Where is it? Here we go. This one right here. This is the one that's Always fun to see. The broadcaster can cook. Yes, he can. Check it out right there. It's on my YouTube channel. Just go to Dan Vaughan on my YouTube channel. It's there for you, and you can guaranteed you'll like him. Now, I'm not the easiest cook to follow, but I think if you sort of follow it, and again, it's a work in progress, sort of, you should be okay and be able to follow along at home and make some exciting dishes and part of the rotation here in the house. So check that out. I'd love to have you do that. And again, you can follow me on the channels. Here we are right there. Actually, wrong one. There we go. How about on these channels? Here we go on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram right there. Those are all for you. Love to have you guys follow me along. I guess that's it. I don't see anything else. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got a little, let's see what Connie says. Notre Dame is proxy, even though 9. Yes, I saw that too. I gave a lot of thought to this the last couple of days. I'm not going to sit and tell you I'm not a huge Alabama fan, not a huge Nick Saban fan. Don't dislike him, kind of neutral on him. But I think he said something, and I heard this from a couple other coaches as well. Kirk Ferentz, the coach at Iowa, said the same thing. I believe Matt Wells at Tech said the same thing. I don't know the players are any safer going home. Kids are kids. It's hard enough for our daughter to stay isolated in her house and not do anything. Kids want to be around their mates. They want to go hang out. They want to socialize. And we go to the yogurt shop 2 nights ago with our mask on, and here comes a group of 4 kids in. Yes, they're wearing masks, but their kids are kids. I can only imagine being a college kid back in the day and just told, I can't do anything. You can't go to the Sigma Chi house. You can't go to Greek Circle. You can't go to the Student Union building. You got to go back to the dorm and sit there. My wife's niece, our niece, went to Montana State yesterday, checked into her dorm. I can't imagine Anna being told, oh, you can't go anywhere but sit in your dorm. I can't imagine. Caroline this weekend, when she checks back into her dorm, she's going to be asked to sit around and do nothing. No, she wants to see her mates. They have tryouts for plays. She wants to see her friends. She wants to be involved in her campus activities. All kids want to do that. So it's a catch-22. The players are probably they're at danger going to class, but they're also going home. What are they going to do? When you go home, kids are going to be kids. Kids are going to hang out. And we're at the corn dog place yesterday at Fletcher's, and you had college-age kids, 3 or 4 of them in line together. I mean, people want to. We're social animals. We're humans for a reason. So I think what they're on to is that they're probably better off, the football players, in their little bubble on campus with maybe their classes are study hall type, monitored closer, in their bubble, in their athletic dorm. Most of these places have athletic dorms, athletic dining halls. They eat separately, do all their things separately, where their medical staff can monitor, and they're probably better off there. I think they're probably better off there than being home, left their own devices, where maybe a kid has medical care, maybe he doesn't have access to medical care. I don't know. So that's my take. But again, this is a hot topic. I can't believe that we're still going through this thing. And go back to last March when this crazy virus, and I remember seeing it in Australia back in January, and it's still unbelievable. It's still an unbelievable time we live in, and we'll be forever changed because of it. So anyway, anything else you guys got? Friday, same time, same place, 5 o'clock. Do it again. I will come through a busy day tomorrow. Got men's group to lead tomorrow. Then I got tomorrow night's show. Then finally Friday. I've got a box over here. I think I showed this to you guys the other day. I'm excited about this. Off the screen. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited I haven't even opened it yet. This is my new toy that I've added to my arsenal of toys to make these shows better. And this is going to really help my cooking videos and my YouTube videos, I think, down the road, and also my T-Bone stuff down the road. But I haven't even had a chance to even open it up and play around with it yet. And hopefully on Friday I can do that, start having a little bit of fun with this, and add to the shows and odds and ends and things we're doing. So anyway, glad you guys joined me. Appreciate you taking the time here. Much love. Virtual hugs. Say it every time. Let's all be kinder. Let's show some empathy. As a matter of fact, that was one more thing I want to do for you guys. This morning in my men's group, I wanted to pull this up for you because my friend Kurt and I were talking about this on our men's group. It's a men's Bible study we do on Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. We were talking about empathy and sympathy, the difference of the two. And I'll give you this, and I think this is where I did not know this, and I kind of thought they were sort of the same word, but not really. Empathy is a noun to understand and share the feelings of another. Empathy is the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference. That's the capacity to place oneself in another's position. Sympathy is, I feel sorry for you, man. It's terrible. Here's a hug. Sucks. Prayers and love. Empathy is to actually put yourself in those shoes and I think we need more of that. And that's why I keep saying empathy, put ourselves in each other's shoes, whether it be in race relations, in COVID relations, politics, you name it. Let's all show more empathy. Let's all have some love for each other. And that's what it's all about in the end. So more empathy, more love, and let's come out of this thing better in the end than we are right now. That's always my message for all you guys. And again, appreciate y'all joining me. Thanks to Mom. My wife didn't jump on. I know I guess she's busy down there. What are you doing down there, honey? Where did you jump on? It's all good. We're going to jump off. But she didn't even jump on today. I'm waiting for wife cam to pop up and get the alert. But didn't happen. All right, let's cue the close. Glad you guys joined me. Again, much love to all you guys. See you guys on Friday, 5 o'clock Central Time on Friday. That'll be 6 a.m. in Western Australia. So if you're up early in the West, check it out. And glad you guys joined us. Again, much love. We'll see you guys on Friday. Let's roll the open and Let's roll the close. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Close it out. Love y'all.